Hey guys, what is up? Niad here with Film Comics Explained, and we are back with more aliens. When we had left, Ripley had led a group of soldiers, including Hicks and Newt, to the location of the Queen Mother. She is haunted by the transmission she received from the dead space jockey, which contained coordinates and vital information about the xenomorph's genesis. I mean, for the most part up until recently, it was unknown where the aliens came from, and if they had more of a motive other than survival. Ripley had suggested they re-engineer the power loaders to enable them to go toe-to-toe with the aliens. They had also retrofitted a spherical container housing xenomorphs to the back of the ship in the hopes of capturing the Queen Mother. They landed on the planet and saw the pod-like growths from Ripley's visions. They were then mercilessly attacked by the horde of aliens, desperate to protect their mother, their queen. Ripley jumped out of the damaged APC and lured the Queen Mother out of her home. She managed to latch onto the descending ship with one arm and let the Queen bite her other, before retracting her into the container. They then recovered the rest of the Marines from the planet before the APC went critical. We returned to find Amy huddled near a campfire. The group are hiding in the remnants of an old amusement park. It's cold. We've been on the run for weeks. The Earth we knew is gone. The aliens have taken it as their own. Power to the satellite uplinks went out when the creatures finally severed the main undergrounds. There would be no more transmissions. Paul explains to Amy that he used to come here when he was a kid, and had a fascination that drew him to the machines. He tells us that Amy is all he has left, and he wants her to know something good, something decent before she dies. Amy grabs his hand and asks him to show her what it was like before. They are walking around the attractions and suspend their disbelief, temporarily lowering their guard. We can see an alien is stalking them from above. We then see its hand reach out to Paul as Ben calls out for Amy. He grabs a torch and swings it around on the xenomorph, smacking it across the face. He then yells at Paul to get Amy away. Amy calls out for her dad while Ben fends off the beast. Paul bursts through a wooden wall with Amy in his arms and continues to run. We can see that there are a handful of sick people chasing them. They tell the pair that she has been looking for them as they begin to overpower them. We return to Ben, who is being chased by the alien. He reaches safety by squeezing through a small gap and leaving the alien behind. Once he gets through, he realizes that he has lost the other two and yells out in frustration. We return to Ripley's ship on its way to Earth. Our journey back to Earth had an eerie stillness to it. The calm before the storm. Gateway Station was like a jewel suspended over the blue curve of Earth. Stripped of context, it glittered with rare beauty. We had stolen the alien's Queen Mother, and we would use her to gather, then destroy her children on Earth. Ripley had spent hours on the security deck watching her. Newt arrives to tell her they're about to dock, and Ripley informs her that she's been studying it, the way it moves, the way it thinks. She is convinced that the Queen Mother knows everything about their plan. She knows what they are trying to do, yet she doesn't care. They dock onto Gateway Station and are immediately directed towards the bridge. They are informed that they had lost communication with Earth since they had left. Atmospheric static made transmission and reception almost impossible. Newt asks about Amy and the satellite uplinks, but is told that anyone left on Earth belongs to the alien. The captain then tells her that he hopes for her sake that she has passed, as the alternative was horrifying. Newt is broken by this news, and we can see her withdraw, while the others continue their briefing. Hicks and Ripley are then told that they have been getting bizarre temperature readings from surviving high-altitude weather markers. The global temperature has dropped an average of 15 to 20 degrees. The captain then goes on to say that the methodology mimics their own terraforming technology. They were tracking the energy source, which seemed to come from space. Newt then bursts in saying, "It's the other one, the one that spoke to me. We brought it here." She goes on by saying, "Its companion died on Acheron, long before the Nostromo. It followed us as we searched for the alien's home, then it returned with us to Earth. We thought it shared our hatred of the alien, but it wanted Earth, not the aliens." Ripley insists that they are wasting time, and the captain tries to explain that the space jockey is employing terraforming technology, which meant that there won't be any Earth left soon. It's here that Ripley states this isn't about Earth for her. This was for her, and once she had destroyed the xenomorphs, it would be the end of it. We head to Newt, who is getting prepped. The group insists that there was no reason for her to come, and that she would be safe here, and she tells them that she knows. Ripley and Hicks led the others to the ship, readying themselves for their final struggle. The flame of hatred burned bright in Ripley's eyes. I'd seen it so many times before, in Hicks, in General Spears, and in myself. I watched them disappear behind the cold steel of the airlock, disappear into Ripley's obsession, all the time knowing what I would have to do. Orana's bombs were part of an old-style military arsenal located in a remote mountainside bunker. That was Ripley's target. The Queen Mother would gather her flock for nuclear Armageddon. Those not killed by the initial blast would be left without any function. I didn't have much time. We can see Ripley's ship arriving at the military base. There appears to be a hole in the door, suggesting a forced entrance. As they approach the door, Ripley tells them that Dr. Orana had them wire the nukes into a sequential detonation pattern prior to evacuation, before saying God only knows why they didn't blow it up the first time. Hicks then says, maybe the sequence was interrupted by some natural phenomenon. These weapons were never meant to withstand exposure to the elements. There's enough firepower here to level the continent, but the bombs themselves are fragile as dust. Fawkes then spots something up ahead and calls the group to join him. They all look down as he says, I think I figured out why the bombs never detonated. They can see that someone has put a stop to the countdown by burning the interior and everyone within it. Tully tells him that she doesn't like it, and Ripley tells her that she doesn't have to like it, just fix it. She then tells her to radio the dropship as the project was a go. They contact Gateway Station and inform them that they are rewiring for a second detonation. They are told to continue with 10-minute updates and continuous motion sweeps, and are urged to get out of there at the first sign of movement. It's here that they notice that someone had broken into one of the loader bays and was launching a cargo ship. The captain furiously asks for a direct line to the vessel before asking the pilot to identify themselves. Newt shoots out of Gateway and tells the captain she is sorry, but this was the only way. Amy was not dead and she was sure she could feel it. I'd learnt a lot watching Hicks. I triangulated a course using the coordinates from Amy's last video transmission. The cargo ship was designed to be piloted by mainline field soldiers. Most of the onboard systems were automatic. She was just one little girl, lost in the ruin of man's greed and madness. We'd never even met, but I knew her. We would survive together, or not at all. Unfortunately, that's all that we have time for. We are nearing the end of Female War, with just one more volume left. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit a like and to subscribe to stay up to date on all my content. As always, it's been a pleasure. Niad here with Film Comics Explained. Thanks for stopping by.